I just like looked up and I was like, wow, we're halfway through 2026. And I started thinking about half year
Hmm.
stuff, different stuff for one nation or RPW. I was thinking of. I'm thinking
Hmm.
about doing a. I've got a AEW MVP list for every year. Basically, I picked an MVP and then like a alt MVP. I'm gonna do that on the channel. Like I don't know, rather soon. Um, but I was thinking about, just what have been like really the stories in wrestling this year. What stuff has kind of like stood out to you? Who the best performers have been, and what has this year kind of felt like in your eyes?
So so for me, I would say like it's been a year where it's like it's a good year. How much? What do you love about it specifically storyline wise? And I'm like, damn, it's strange. Like I was thinking about this watching this show, Dynamite, and I think we'll get to it later. We'll see what to talk about now, but it's like, what is the big overarching narrative, and what is it? What makes it unique for pro wrestling? What makes it unique for this particular year in AEW? And I gotta say, the first 3 months it worked to great success, and now that we're past 3 months of it, and I know this is what you're doing, it's kind of hurting how I feel about individual storylines. Like the idea that you have the champion with the title and everybody wants it is a great concept to start fresh for building new storylines going forward, and where these guys come into contact with each other along the path. But if everybody has the same story, nobody kind of has a story.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of hurting AEW right now with Forbidden Door in the way, and I think we're at the point now where like it's become glaringly or like just beyond obvious that they need a shakeup as far as their calendar. They have got set in their ways, and the things they were doing before they got a all in, where any pay per view could be the next big pay per view. It was more exciting, and
Mm-hmm.
it didn't leave them to have to put stuff on hold the way they have to get to the big show to draw all the tickets. Even though this particular year is like, all right, what are the big stories? We're only 2 months away, and we still don't really have much. But um, yeah, I think it's a year where they have to come to the conclusion like, hey, having the tournaments, the Owen, as much as fun as high quality the Owen has been this year and last year, and what the C2 is in every November through December, I think they have to come to a reckoning that, hey, this is getting in the way of our ability to be flexible as bookers, as storytellers. I think that stuff's getting in the way. Like, at what point do they, at what point in the fall do they start putting themselves, to get themselves in position to do a blood and guts? You know that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, Forbidden Door, All Out, to go with along with All In, all that stuff is in the last couple of years has gotten in the way of whatever they're trying to tell, or giving them unnecessary hurdles because they have filled out their traditional calendar, and this is what their years are. And I think the thing about AEW at the beginning was that like it was uncharted territory, so they could go to different places. And if they were doing the stuff every other year, it would be beneficial to them for some of the stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
now we locked in the basically every month pay per view, and some of these dates are just in the way, and a lot of stuff feels like foregone conclusions and stuff. And it's like that does hurt the like the suspense, because you know that they're not going to do nothing crazy.
I think for me, a lot of the year has been defined about guys who are not on TV,
There's that too.
guys that are missing, and you can take this all over the map. So,
I mean,
um,
Swerve literally I said a podcast. Just literally just did a whole segment with Will Ospreay, and ultimately boiled down to where the fuck is Hangman on the page? And I'm like, yeah.
I mean,
Someone asking this question. Where is this guy?
he was wondering where he was himself too.
Right.
So, there's a lot going on there.
Well, FOH, that's definitely getting drafted in the first 2 rounds.
Oh man, look,
Definitely.
FOH is going to be a movie this year. It's going to be, yeah. But WWE, CM Punk gone, for months and months. As you mentioned, Swerve, Hangman, Kenny, gone, all the time. And the AEW World Title has just been defended more than any time in its history this year.
I don't hate that though.
I don't know. Like the
It's been quality. I mean, MJF and Darby have been quality champions.
Yeah, they've both put a lot of good matches up. I think the matches kind of come in lieu of like the suspense. I think you may have been,
that's true.
Looking for, because it was
That's
like
true.
one guy was coming out every week for Darby. It was just like, well, why doesn't it ever work like this any other time? Like that's the only thing I think you can ask on that. I think the pay-per-views have been great.
Yeah.
We saw in the comments like Hiroshi Tanahashi laid it down at the very beginning of the year. I think that's still my match of the year right now.
What's been even close?
Like I don't think anything's reached it. Like just the stakes, the drama, the moment. Like there's been matches that just like bell to bell. I think probably like get it out of here or whatever. But it was like I think it just has
I don't
this.
know, man. I think there have been matches that have been nifty or whatever else, but like as far as the drama, the action, or whatever's like that wasn't no. Like
it's
that
not
wasn't
no pity. It's not a charity match.
That's not no sentimental pity, match of the year contender. Like, nah, man, that match is an all-time match. But normally, I don't think I've seen anything. I don't think anything yet that is bell to bell better. Like, I mean, I will say this, like that. I think Swerve and Ospreay are going to outdo it bell to bell. Doesn't mean people are going to have it rated higher by the end of the year. I mean, will you say that bell to bell Takeshita Okada was better? Or will you say it's basically the same shit except the stakes are higher than the dome?
Yeah, it's almost the same
I think
shit.
It's the same,
but
yeah.
And Swerve and Kenny, number one, that one was great.
That was.
And going around the country to go see it,
I'll
always gotta remember that.
The Young Bucks Takeshita Okada match.
Yeah, the Young Bucks on pay-per-view just deciding like, you know what? We're going to open against FTR, and then we're going to do the match against Takeshita and Okada, and it's just like, just greatness with those guys. Like, and it's just like...
Now they're banished to Collision.
I run out of adjectives to describe their selflessness, to describe their work rate, to describe just like what they mean, like to not only last era of wrestling, this era of wrestling, like, and it's just every time they're still around, I'm just overjoyed that the Bucks of Youth are just here and decided to do wrestling their way. So who else kind of think about that is really kind of stood out. Well, actually, I'm gonna take it here. The unrest in WWE and the fan engagement around the product, and
they're not happy.
They are not happy. They are the TKO stuff, like as far as them rinsing their fans left and right. These huge shows where they're paying an arm and a leg for less and less. I think people have gotten hip to the game in a way that I'm shocked that they have even decided. Like, they kept noticing the hand was in their pockets. They kept noticing the advertisements. They kept noticing the lack of matches on the shows. They kept wondering why people could not make pay-per-view anymore. And they kept wondering why Paul Levesque is getting a pass at this point. And I don't think he is anymore.
Happy Juneteenth.
He doesn't see color, James. But yeah, that WrestleMania show, that first night, just ineptitude at a WrestleMania level unseen in 30 years. It was just like, wow. Like, but I warn,
Night one was abysmal, man.
bro.
I still haven't watched night two because night one was so bad.
Bro.
I still haven't seen Punk and Roman.
Like, like in WWE, while doing all this, are still making moves in the background to like, to chase after the rest of the wrestling world. Like they had like the AAA stuff, they're expanding now. They're making all these secret moves in the background. They're trying to still go after tons of talents and different stuff like that.
They just recently announced a show the same weekend as Redemption.
Yep.
In July.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it happened the last couple weeks.
I knew they had one head to head with Forbidden Door.
Yeah. It's in Saudi Arabia though, so it's like one of those. That was not necessarily as sinister because I think those are planned way ahead. But they're still doing the same. We'll throw out some show to try to take 5% off of the top of whatever AEW is doing. It's like, all right, good luck with that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's I think it's been a year of like it's the mid-decade blues in some cases. It's like you got a lot of guys that you're wanting the new guys to emerge. I think Kevin Knight's emergence is notable. I think from last year coming into this year, Kyle Fletcher got injured, but he's right on the cusp, I think, of being able to, make some noise. MJF's reemergence has kind of been like, it seemed like he had kind of been, I don't want to say past it, because obviously in 2023 he had it and he was always going to be back around, but he almost came back with a vengeance this year to where it was like
better than I thought he ever was going to with a second opportunity. I thought it was like, all right, I'm gonna give him a shot or whatever the second time around, and we gonna see what he does with it. But man, like he's been a great champion this year. He has been so good. I think that it has come at the expense of some other things that I would like to get more time. But if he's gonna do so well, at that point it gets to a point where like we are getting into some real like high level like unhappiness of like you just never satisfied. So yeah, man, like it's been a really good year. It's not perfect. It's never been perfect because it's a fucking sports version of a soap, or it's a soap opera of a sports league.
Speaking of not perfect, John Moxley. I think this is the year that is finally broke me. Like as far as like dealing with just seeing how this company works and like I think it culminated actually in the Swerve and Ospreay segment, and then after in the back where it was just like I felt like he tried to dump cold water on it like immediately, and it was just like I feel like the entire thing with Will Ospreay has been like, I'm gonna steal this from Sarah, who I saw post this in some channel, whatever, from Tristan Sarah. What's up, Sarah? Said when Will Ospreay first came into this company, there was such a rush to put the championship on him, right? Mm-hmm. So essentially, they will have waited for 2 years to do this with it, right? Like, and now it's just like I think a lot of this has ended up being John Moxley's story rather than Will Ospreay's, and Ospreay's putting stuff back together now, trying to like. He's basically like when he's talking about I have to learn to let things go, and I'm just like, well, what kind of like babyface are you? Like, you think Steve Austin would have let some shit go? Like, I know everybody's not Stone Cold Steve Austin, right? Mm-hmm. But I think the Death Riders become long in the tooth. They haven't done really anything notable or meaningful for months. You never know their alignment from one week or to the next. He's gonna work as a complete heel against Bandito on the pay-per-view, but all of a sudden he's gonna step up the next night and be saving Will Ospreay, and I'm just like, I'm tired of it.
Rich,
pick a side, nigga. Like
that happened on this show. Moxley and Garcia were literally in the heel corner, healing up. Had Marina out there cheating throughout that whole entire match. A great match, by the way. And then, as you mentioned, they come to the help of Swerve Strickland when, or sorry, not Swerve, Will Ospreay when Swerve grabs a chain after Will blows a stack and punches Swerve in the jaw. And it's like, is are they helping? Are they turning Moxley heel without are Moxley and them turning Ospreay heel without him realizing it, or what? Or what is the story? I still don't know. And like, the only thing that, as you mentioned, like the thing about like the complaints about Moxley is and Death Riders is, yeah, and then they get in a big match and they fucking tear the house down. Moxley on pay-per-view's been great. Like Pat, whenever he's had matches, has been great. Like it's just it's the alignment that's the problem, in the part where he's down the card, but his hands are on the main event.
And he's in a corner with his own belt that nobody can touch, essentially. And this is why I don't care about the secondary belts in this company, because there's only one real belt. And the thing is, it might be being worn by somebody, and somebody else might actually be wearing it. And that's been really the secret to the AEW World Championship this year. Even when Darby was the champion, like, he was wearing that shit for the real champion, who he dropped it back to.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, and so, like, on the other side of the coin, like I've been saying, there's two sides of this company. There's MJF side, there's Mox side, and then the middle is Don Callis, right? Like right down the middle is Don Callis, right? So, with his 912 people in the group.
Remember when they were doing Death Riders versus Don Callis family? It just stopped.
Yeah. Interesting. So like, I've grown really tired of waiting for whatever the Death Riders are trying to do to culminate to, like, these niggas were literal terrorists running around this company or whatever, and everybody's just fine with them now apparently. Like, I'm like, okay. So like they're just all right. Niggas committed terroristic acts for years, and we just rolling with it, and then being told to be happy that Jon Moxley was winning the Continental joint in heroic fashion against Kazuchika Okada, and it is rolled on from there. Like, and I think this stuff has been largely in its own world, and really one of the things I have not loved about the company this year.
I think that's the real complaint is, like the thing is, we were like, all right, well, they've had two of the greatest wrestling shows of all time already. Every pay-per-view they've had has been. Have they had a pay-per-view this year that wasn't great? Is there one I'm forgetting that wasn't great? Revolution was great.
The
last pay-per-view was great. Dynasty, yeah.
Dynasty was really good. And Double or Nothing was one of the greatest shows ever.
Right, like, I mean, Revolution was one of the greatest shows ever. It's just, the last pay-per-view was just maybe the greatest wrestling show ever. You know what I mean? So it's like, you're getting this kind of stuff, but it's like, we're getting down into the real, like, nitty-gritty stuff, and it's like this, it doesn't feel like, it feels like there's a connective tissue that's missing with all this, and now we're headed towards this show that is an afterthought because they don't really actually want to carry out the actual intended, like, the Forbidden Door isn't the Forbidden Door no more, and it wasn't that was the case last year too, right? But like now it's even more glaring. Like, did they even have a single like New Japan Pro Wrestling star signed or announced for a match yet?
Zach.
Oh yeah, Zach. Is there a second one?
I
don't think so. Who's he wrestling?
Pac.
When did that get announced?
That actually will be announced on Collision.
So it will be announced.
Time comp. This thing. Shout out to Mr. Warren Hayes for the $10 on there. I believe I will choose to believe this is to celebrate Juneteenth. Thank you, sir. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I just think
no. Hold on. Now, Mr. Sour Graps, did you have you given your 10 or whatever you're gonna give the Grapsity?
You got to go around and bless everybody.
I appreciate the love for us. You got to take care of everybody though.
Go holla at Lyric and Danny,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that, you know.
yeah. There's a lot of people.
Ibu, Ao,
We gonna make you regret giving us $10.
But yeah, man, I don't know. As far as New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's been, I think the Aaron Wolf thing has been disastrous. Like
Rich.
from I saw his match and I was just like,
yeah.
And I watched it against Rendered. I was like, all right, brother. They did this for 6 months, and I feel like this crowd wants to care because they like him, obviously, but it's like the House of Torture. Ultimately, still, it's the same shit that you saw to a not as good, less over version of it by the time Dominion
with less
came.
stars.
Yeah, man.
Like you can say, look, the evil shit sucked, but at least evil was like in the eyes of the fandom.
He had something that Ren Narita clearly does.
He was moving shirts.
Yeah, and the Yota Tsuji thing. I don't think that has gone the way that people thought it was going to go from January 4th on.
It has not.
Won that belt back in maybe a 3 3/4 match with Callum Newman, and I was just like, this is y'all star, like this is the ace, like. All right, man. Like I don't know, bro. I'm not seeing it at that level.
I think we're at the point now where with the Musketeers, it's clear that Tsuji's the best one. But the problem with Tsuji is Tsuji's just a great wrestler. He's not an all-time wrestler yet. He can still get there. He has the tools. More season, maybe he will become an all-timer, right?
Look, slightly older than we think.
How old is he?
He might be. I think he may be 34, maybe?
I thought he was
32. Excuse me, 32.
Okay.
And actually, in September, he will be 33. But the thing is, he was a young lion, went through the dojo. So it means like a different kind of thing. So and I don't know if this was like Kazuchika Okada just being this fucking phenom at like a super young age, right? But like being Yota Tsuji in 2026 is not Kazuchika Okada in 2016. These mean two different things. So it's like when you're starting your company from that big of a look.
I don't know what you mean. I every time I go on my timeline, I hear Kazuchika Okada is not good until he rips off the best match of the year or the second best match of the year, months apart. So I don't know. I always hear that Okada is just okay. He's anybody could have done this. It's all an illusion. He's not actually one of the greatest wrestlers of all time before he was even 30. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. But I just know that it's unfair. I just know it's unfair and for Tsuji because he's still young and he hasn't had enough reps for this to come out with a conclusion to figure out what his actual trajectory is going to be in pro wrestling or in New Japan Pro Wrestling yet. I just know that the dude's super talented. When I watch him, I enjoy him, and I know that if you put him in the ring with another guy that is as good as him or better, he's going to deliver. The problem is, how many people does New Japan have that's better than him at this point?
Like, the thing is, it's like, all right, Okada had a lot of those guys to learn from, to get better with. He had rivals that were coming from outside the company that were coming to challenge him, that were like these imports. Yota Tsuji don't seem to be about any of that. Like, he has just a different idea on what he wants to do. He wants to end up having to do his title reign. He's got to wrestle Jake Lee, apparently, as a worthy contender and shit. Now, look, if I was him...
You watch that shit sucks.
Look, people we've seen all his interviews in Tokyo Sports and all this him and Han and we've seen this week about him not wanting to defend the IWGP belt. We saw the him and Ospreay thing, like, everybody, you're getting worked. No, nigga, he's working himself. Like keep wrestling whack opponents then. Keep having a lower profile. Keep doing all of those things in the silence, in the desert of New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. We saw that G1 block announcement. James, never have I felt less. They are coming to Chicago. They might as well not get off the plane.
So, Game Kid's in the other block, right?
He's in the B block.
Okay. Kasuji's in the A block. Yeah, man, like, honestly, it's gonna go back to the Gabe Kidd thing. You know, like Gabe Kidd and Suji had that awesome match at the beginning of was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, last year, 2025,
Yeah,
new
was
beginning.
was that New Beginning or was it Genesis?
New beginning.
Okay, yeah, man, like because that was following up off the Gabe Kidd Omega match, and yeah, man, like they
Honestly, they should like just build
anybody,
that up and do like that as the Wrestle Kingdom main event.
no,
Honestly,
what I'm getting at is anytime they seem like they got somebody, they just get poached by AEW.
there is that.
Right? Look, Okada leaves. Oh, I mean, obviously, the Young Bucks and
Everybody.
Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes leave out of what they were doing in New Japan, start AEW.
Jay,
Chris
the dogs
Jericho,
left.
same thing,
The
right?
dogs left.
The Dogs leave. Jay White leaves. Osprey leaves. Like, yeah, but like they keep getting plundered. They keep getting plundered, and it's like, all right, because honestly, you know, where the economy is in Japan right now, and where New Japan is now, where they get sold by Bushiroad off, and it's like they're not paying talent. Like the only place that's paying good money seemingly right now that a stable job is AEW. Like you can sign for whatever you want to in WWE. Eventually, the Undertaker comes a calling, not the actual like the figurative Undertaker. Like the Grim Reaper comes a calling and says it's time for you to be cut. Right, so it's like, what are the options as a person trying to make a career as a high level wrestler? It's AEW or just not make as much money or have a stable job, or make a lot of money and have an unstable job. It's the only major place where you can get both right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it sucks. Like I would like, you know, and just for the betterment of pro wrestling, it would make more sense if there was a spread of elite pro wrestlers throughout WWE and AEW and New Japan, so we can have three places that can have all high level wrestlers, high level wrestlers tell stories at a time. In AEW, when there's this much talent, guys are falling through the cracks. They don't get screen time. That's why there's just a glut of top level wrestlers that are, you know, they do their match. You're like, damn, they should have a chance to do X, Y, and Z. And then you look around, he's like, are they really gonna get an opportunity over what's above them? You're like, yeah, that is crazy. That doesn't make much sense. And you just stuck where it's like they're beyond loaded, and it's like that's one of the problems of AEW. They have so many guys that they can't really they get into like almost like a paralysis of choices. It's like going on Netflix and being like, "What I'm gonna watch today," or going on YouTube and what I'm gonna watch today. There's too many options. You get stuck for 30 minutes trying to figure out what you're gonna pick to watch. So with New Japan, it's like New Japan keep getting they whatever they build up, except for Yoda Sushi apparently, is getting Tony Khan come and say, "Let me get that, bro." They ain't hey, what you want? How much you can pay? All right, I can double that, triple that. You want to come over here? You already know half the roster. They was just on the roster with you 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Shout out to keeping the strong style. Shout out to keeping the strong style. Keeping up the good fight.
They might have renamed it. They might have renamed the show to that. Keep up the good fight.
That's the thing about, you know, our perspective on it, right? We are into wrestling for the matches, the talent, the individual talent in their journeys, and the things they can do in a wrestling ring or on a microphone. And I think, you know, if you have come from the perspective of you only knew wrestling one way, or you're used to watching one particular brand of wrestling and they do it this way, it can be hot for a period of time, but eventually it's not going to be hot forever. And for us, it's like we're trying to watch where the biggest concentration of talent is and what's doing the best wrestling, and that's how we have moved along nomadically through the last, you know, since 2012 with pro wrestling. And I think we're kind of unique in that situation. Well, the way we cover this thing is like people are you know, they watch WWE and they're miserable. I'm like, hey man, you ain't gotta watch that shit if it ain't good. Like,
switch it up.
New Japan Pro Wrestling is not 2018 New Japan Pro Wrestling no more, and it's okay to admit that.
I don't think people ready to deal with it. Like and the thing is, James, like Drake said, they've had a lot of practice dealing with this. James, like what, like
2026 Stardom It's not bad by any means, but it also ain't 2022 Stardom either. Right, like last year they had their best attendance they ever did. Right, cool. Pull up that cage match. Look how many eights are on that cage match. Pull up 2023 and 22 and 21. Look how many eights they got there. Now that's not the end all be all, but look, man, we just had Azuki on AEW television.
Yeah. What you think that mean?
Tommy left and came back to Stardom just now. Tam retired. Julia's in WWE. Mina's in AEW. Like these things, when this shit changes in, like, we talk about this. Appreciate greatness while it's happening. When you have a collection or you have a roster collected like this, appreciate what you're getting, because you don't know how long it's gonna last. We didn't look. You couldn't have told me after watching 2018 New Japan Pro Wrestling that shit wasn't gonna last forever. It lasted. Look, it still lasted over half a decade longer, but still, bro, like, it ain't the same. Like, you got Tanahashi just retired, and look what the year's been post him retiring. And don't get me wrong, the person that retired is Okada, who's not even in New Japan no more. What the fuck? Naito, not in New Japan no more. What the fuck?
Out there and just, Noah somewhere and land on his head,
Hiromu, not in New Japan no more.
About to debut in NXT. Evil, about to be the fucking NXT champion. What?
Appreciate the collection of talent when you got to see it, man.
Yeah.
Like, we just did this thing about AEW and there are loads of talent. Like, look, man, they're giving us some of the greatest shows we ever seen, big shows we ever seen. That's why I'm of 2 minds where it's like, I wish the storylines be a little more cohesive. I wish they took care of these things the way they took care of it the first 3 years of promotion.
Like, it's too big to be that.
There's been trade-offs. There's been trade-offs made. It's like, hey, look, man, we can't get people to care about, like, emotionally invest in the Dark Order and Hangman Page the way that we, like, we can't get people to care about Don Callis' family the way that they cared about Dark Order and Hangman. Okay, cool. Line it up, though.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like
Don Callis' family or Dark Order. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's almost like you got, like,
best friends or Jet Speed. What are we doing? Sorry, look, don't throw tomatoes at me. Don't throw tomatoes at me, and Ali and Leah. But give me a fucking break. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Let be real. Let be real. Like what they say in life. Let be real. We on deck. No, I'm saying, like, there's a trade-off with, that talent increase, as you mentioned. Maybe it was easier building around just a few stars, and then was bringing up them low spades with them. So, like, I don't know. There's a trade-off for everything. I think there's a time and place where the low spades, they walked across the table, a little bit more, and.
Like, bro, can you imagine that when we first saw them beating the Elite at the end of 2019, that they will end up being, like, that emotional weight to matter for, like, Hangman's, like, redemption? We were like, what the fuck is this? No way. Get them off TV, and then it mattered that way, and they came through and they actually mattered. And now you see Silver. Now the only time you see Silver is like we showed up for the ball segment with MJF at backstage. It's like, oh, Meat Man.
Yep.
Shout out.
Yep.
You ain't gonna pause for saying Meat Man? All right.
I'm gonna let that one go.
You off your game. You off your game.
I'm gonna let that one go. But
Two Americas. That man, look, John Silver can never get away with that nickname if he was black. He'd be like, what is
brother,
this?
You had to wear a pause t-shirt, brother. Like, your existence is pause. Imagine telling Dame Dash there's a wrestler called the Meat Man. Like, pull up the Mano with that and Jim Jones.
Yeah, not a chance.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, man, it's and I think Cody Rhodes and WWE, man, again, the saxophones are getting loud for that brother over there.
I mean, look, I think that they have a lot of problems right now, but I think that could easily be fixed if they just say, hey, you're gonna put Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in a ring again for the third time. But I think there should be questions asked about why have they not done that?
Oh yeah. Or what? I think the answer we would get would be a question in itself. They'd be like, "Well, why would we do that?" Like,
I mean, look, shit. They had the best success they've had in years with those two guys in main event. Imagine, let's put it this way. Imagine if granted, think about what happened in the aftermath of the business after 2021 in 2001 after WrestleMania 17, right? They still fucking did it. They still had a third Austin and Rock, because why the fuck when you do why the fuck when you do a second Austin and Rock?
Mm-hmm.
It only makes sense. It's our biggest match. We're gonna do this until we can't do it no more. Them? Nah. No one wants to put anybody over because they both have to pretend they're both they're the bigger star because of ego and pride. Hey man, how about this? How about we get y'all in the ring and y'all can both be the best because it's fucking fake.
How about y'all go do no? How about y'all go do it for real then? You know?
Yeah. Why y'all shoot over it? Since it matters to you so much. You know, I just saw Roman that he was at the White House MMA.
Maybe he was learning
UFC shit. Yeah, maybe yeah. What you staring at? You got a huge weight difference over Cody. Cody was an amateur wrestler. You ain't got to worry about that though.
Yeah.
When's the last time you think he rolled on
a long time ago?
Yeah, that was high school.
Shames though happy not to be a Fed fan because I don't have to see any Cody June team jokes. His kufi is Photoshop, mine is real. So
they still doing that?
You know, I haven't seen any today, which is maybe an improvement, but I don't want to speak too soon because who knows what it'll look like by the time I get off this show tonight. Somebody will be done polluted the timeline with some of that stuff. So, but yeah, let's see what else we got here. But yeah, that was just good. Nothing like some old freelance One Nation Radio.